Well, good evening everybody and welcome to Delta T Racing. It's Friday night, so it's time for Esports. We're coming this week from the Styrian Mountains in Austria for round number 8, and it is a sprint race. So for those of you who are new to it, what we do is an 18-minute qualification session, followed by a sprint race of 5 laps where points are given basically to the top 8. So from first you get 8 points all the way down into 8th, and that will also determine your starting position for the feature race, which will be a 50% race distance. I'm sure you already know that, so I won't bore you any further. But right, out on track at the moment, straight away we're going to jump on board with XL Gary in the Ferrari. So just looking who we have tonight. So representing XL, we have Gary and Rocco. We also have a new team in today, which is LFR. So welcome to the Esports League. Very good to have you here. We've unfortunately lost DRA due to various reasons, so they dropped out of the league. But luckily we've got a capable replacement in LFR, so it'll be interesting to see how you get on. And it's a pleasure to have you here at Delta T Racing. For yourselves tonight, who do you have? You have LFR Marnix and Lucas Supremo. So we'll see if he is Supremo as we go on today. So right, XL Gary moving out of the way. So the first person I think to set a lap is likely to be Marnix for LFR, so we'll see what he puts down as a benchmark. We are coming towards the end of the lap now. It's the infamous turn 9 and turn number 10. It's so easy to invalidate there or lose time, and LFR a 103.416, so a good banker from him there. We then have QVR Verstappen coming across 104.964, so slightly slower there. We then have XL Rocco, is just starting his lap. Try and find who we have who is on a lap at the moment. Very difficult to keep up because everybody has gone out together. There's Felix 1 keeping out of the way. So Michael they're putting in 106.276, taking 5th place for SRL. His teammate tonight is FaZe Pantera, currently not set a lap yet, but he is on his way out. So let's find who we have crossing the line. Ariel Walter there, putting in the second fastest time, 103.719, just ahead of his teammate on a 103.770. So very, very close between those two today. We then have Climb Bossy, who has put a time in there, coming across QVR Verstappen, just crossing the line there, doing a Max Verstappen, basically putting it up just off the front row, but I'm sure he will get quicker as the time goes on, so certainly be one to watch. Who do we have coming across? BN LRE, so Nidus, they're putting in the 12th fastest time, so the time's coming in thick and fast at the moment. See who is next across the line. So we've got a lot of people pitting now, obviously coming in to put their fresh tyres on. So as we say, 18-minute qualification. This will determine your grid position for the sprint race. It's a 5-lapper, and always interesting, just over the 5 laps. And we will then, from there, go into the main feature race, which is obviously 50%. So. Okay, who do we have? I say everybody looks like they're coming into the pits at the moment. Let's just have a look at the DTR boys who are on a fast or faster lap at the moment. Nidis moves himself up into 12th place there. Mamba puts in a 104.394 for DTR Racing there. So we've had the initial runs. Majority of people have put time on their QVR sneaky, not setting a lap, but from my understanding there was a penalty for the QVR team giving a qualification ban for this week, so unfortunately Sneaky's the one that had to take the rap for that this week. But starting from the back for the sprint race, can obviously make his way up there and try and get himself a good position for the feature race, where obviously all of the points, or where the majority of the points, are earned. Okay, who do we have going around? And Brent, I completely messed Brent there, so apologies Brent, moving up into third place with a 3.659. Who is next on track? Then we have the BNLRE boys, but I believe he is going to come into the pits, which he is indeed. Just behind him we have FaZe, who is... he's on an out lap, so he'll be setting a lap. So we'll jump on board with FaZe at the moment. I'll keep an eye on EVG Architect as well, who's currently in 8th. He is on a lap, so we'll jump on board with him being a little bit further round. And I think he will probably wish we hadn't jumped on board. So here we go with Ragnar going into 10th place. So a good Viking performance there by Ragnar. Okay, we have lots of people going out now, but we'll keep on with FaZe Fantera, who I think is going to be the next person to set a fast lap. Purple in sector 2, so he's definitely on it. We'll have a look if he can improve, move himself up the leaderboard, put SRL up there. And he does move himself up into 9th place, so a good banker lap there for him. Felix 1, I missed him just behind, has set a 104.040 into 13th. We then have Michael is starting his lap. Is there anybody I'm missing actually on a lap at the moment? Yep, we have Jarno coming across the line now. Will he improve? He does, to a 103.846, so it's nearly a 0.3 of a second improvement for him there. They're improving hand over fist at the moment, so I'm just trying to catch up with everybody. Klein Bozy, I think he is on to a lap now. XL Gary improves, moving himself up to 6th with a 103.727, so a good final sector there for him. Verstappen is now on to his hot lap. Who do we have behind? Is it Jeremy? Okay, I think Michael will be the next to set a time. He's slightly slower than he was behind. We have cars coming into the pits. Is it Architect next across the line? Doesn't improve, obviously just had a slower lap there, getting ready to go. BNLR Jarno getting out of the way, which is good to see. Klein Bozy there going up into 8th place with a 103.762, so a cracking lap by him there. XL Gary then just jumping ahead there with a 103.717, so we're very close. We really are close here, but I mean it's not a huge lap around Austria, so times can sometimes seem closer together. But we will see. Mamba now crossing the line at 109.788. So again, I think that was just a slower lap, so hopefully we will see more on it here. Michael crosses the line 103.937 into 15th place. Here we go, Ragnar and EVG in the Haas. Can he oh, he's on his out lap, so I was getting a bit excited there for no reason. Jarno now coming in to the pits. So who do we have on a lap? Climb Bozzy, I think he's going to come into the pits. He is indeed hugging it there. So we have Brent. Slightly slower lap there from Brent. So I don't know if that was an ease off lap or whether he may have made a small mistake. With Mamba now, we'll see what Mamba can improve on. He puts in a 103.891, jumping him up to 14th place. So a good lap there by Mamba. Literally from first down to 17th are separating by 0.6 of a second. It's really good to see. Nice close field. Architect there putting EVG up into 6th place. Followed by his teammate Ragnar, I think, into 12th place. RELP's there, starting his latest lap. So let's see who's next to come round. Will be Brent. And he improves to a 103.345, putting him on the front row of the grid provisionally. So cracking lap there. Trying to find who is next to come round. Not sure if it's Gary or it's going to be Rocco. So Rocco crosses the line to go on to a fast lap again and getting excited far too early here. Okay, so going back, we look like next to cross the line are going to be the Haas boys. Both into the pits. So out on track we have RELBs, who just caught the curb on the outside there. That was unfortunate. I think he was on a improvement of a lap there. At the top we have Wouter, who has invalidated. And who's next? I think it might be Nathan, and I have missed CPI Nathan jumping himself from no lap time at all up into 6th place of 103.472. Rocco there, 103.356, moves his XL team into 3rd place, so a good lap there by Rocco. Next to come across the line, who are we looking at? I think that's a Williams. It is of Nodels. Is it Nodels? Apologies if I'm pronouncing that wrong. I'll call you Nodels for tonight. Unfortunately, he has invalidated, so that lap's not going to count. P's working into the pits now. So who is going to be the next across the line? Looks like Rocco, but I'm not sure if he's on one. He's 4,000ths of a second, 400ths of a second down at the moment, sorry. And he is into the pit, so he will not be taking that one any further. Nathan drops himself into the pits as well. Who do we have next? It will be Mamba again for DTR. He's starting his fast lap, so the only one we have on a lap at the moment is Nodels, who's just started, and Black Mamba. Everyone else sort of in the pits, just be coming out for their last go. But currently we have REL on pole with Wouter, so a cracking lap by him. 103.323. I mean, just behind him as well, I've got DTR Brent, so good shout out, obviously DTR. XL in 3rd place, LFR on their debut in 4th, 5th QVR, 6th CPI. So at the top 6, we've got 6 different teams. It's very, very good to see. Okay, so let's jump on board. Who do we have? Verstappen is going to cross the line and improves to a 103.267. Okay, we have a big hurdle of people coming now, so it's a hurdle, a gaggle. Looks like head in the field is going to be Felix 1 for NLR. We'll see if he can improve on his 104.040, currently in 19th place. 103.66. It must have invalidated because he hasn't improved. So that's a bit of a shame there, but never mind. Okay, Ragnar comes across the line, does improve 103.8, but not in time, I believe. We are then LFR. We've got both LFR. We've got Marnix will be crossing the line first, followed by QBR for Verstappen, then followed by Supremo, Lucas Supremo. So not improving on their times there. Keep getting the wrong cars, so sorry for that. I'm going to jump on with CPI Nathan starting his out lap. Next up we have one of the Ferraris, which is going to be XL, and it's Gary. What time is he going to post? 103.549, so no improvement on his time there. Then have one of the EVG team. Oh, Faye's lost his front wing there. That's going to put pay to his qualifying session. Pease jumps himself up into 5th. Who is next? We are the BNLRE guys. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up. There was too many blues. LFR Lucas and Marnix go first and second on their debuts. 103.273 for Marnix. That's a cracking lap. XL Rocco does not improve, but starts onto his final lap. So this is everybody now onto their final runs. Three, two, one. Right, so we are the... Okay, that didn't probably go according to plan. I don't think that's what he wanted to do, but who have I missed there? Right, okay, so next to come across, we're looking at one of the REL guys, which has got to be Wouter, because Pease... No, it must be Wouter. Oh, trying to catch up. Right, no, that was P. So P coming into the garage. So obviously he has done what he feels he can for the day. We've got XL Rocco now going for one last, but he has invalidated. So red sector there. Unfortunately, not going to be an improvement for him. We're then looking at Brent crossing the line. 103.580. So keeps him in 5th place there. EVG Architect crosses the line, he keeps himself into 10th place. Who do we have next? BNLRE Pantera aborts his lap. Okay, so we are very close to the end of qualifying. Nodell's there has invalidated, so he will not be improving on his time. XL Rocco has finished. That looks like it, folks. I think that is qualifying done and dusted. And on their debuts, LFR have taken... Where were they locked out the front row of the grid? So a really good performance there from LFR, as I say, putting themselves... Well, it's certainly letting us know that they're here, put it that way. So congratulations to them, front row lockout. So we've got LFR on 1st and 2nd. In 3rd place we have REL with Welter, QVR in 4th with Verstappen. Then in 5th we have DTR Brent, XL in 6th with Rocco. 7th is Pease for REL. 8th is XL Gary. 9th we have CPI Nathan, and 10th we have EVG Architect rounding out the top 10. So Then we are followed by Ragnar taking 11th. Nodell's taking 12th. Climb Bossy taking 13th. 14th is Yano. 5th, Phase Pantera. 16th, Black Mamba for DTR team. Jeremy in 17th for the NLR team. Then we have Michael. So that is qualifying. So we are now on to the sprint race. I say no formation lap. We will be straight into racing. 5-lap sprint. So the grid positions will be as per qualifying that we've just finished. Okay, we're just waiting for the drivers now to select what they want. Well, they'll be selecting the tyres. It'll be interesting to see where they go on tyres. Are we going to be looking at all softs? Oh, I'd have thought so. And here we go. It's 4, 5 red lights are out and away we go. So we are off straight away, and we are 3 abreast with the LFR guys being split by REF Walter with a fantastic start. Just behind, it seems to be, there was a bit of contact there with one of the LFR guys. So you see some carbon fibre going, but back at the front, REF Walter has jumped both LFR guys to take the lead and has pulled out a 1.3 second lead already. So a cracking start by him. Behind, it was a bit chaotic at that first turn. I'm just waiting for it to settle down a bit. Okay, so we have moves going left, right and centre, and we have XL Gary is out there. So unfortunately for him, running wide was Face Pantera as well. So jumping back to the racing. Oh, this is very close. Very, very close. So we've already seen a little bit of contact. Welter there, putting in a 107.149, and look at this at the back. We are 3, 4 abreast. Oh, this might not end up well. Somebody going wide there. I think that might have been Mamba, but that was 3 or 4 wide. This is cracking racing. It's really good fun to see. I don't think it's going to be fun to be in, but it's good to watch. We are 3, 4 abreast at some point, so we have settled down a bit now, I think. So we can have a look at the order with Walter jumping at the start, both LFR guys, and so a fantastic start for him, getting to the first corner first. Then we had LFR Marnix, who was, I believe, into second place. In third was LFR Lucas Supremo. Unfortunately, I think he had a little bit of an incident and was caught up in some a little bit of well, carbon fibre, shall we say. But oh, there we go, he's been hit again. Oh my goodness. That is wow. Okay, who did we have at the back there? We had involved in that phase Pantera, I believe. Mamba was involved. Oh dear. Right, okay, anyway, let's get back to the front and concentrate on the racing. So Welter with a 1.3 second lead. NFR Marnix behind him. He's pulling him in slightly. We were up to about 1.3, 1.8 seconds. So he's starting to pull him back ever so slightly. We shall see. We're back with the McLaren boys. Oh, this could be some contact here. A good move. Looking for a double move up the inside. That's a great move by Jeremy, taking 2 cars in 1. And poor old LFR Lucas Supremo loses 3 or 4 places there in 1 corner. So certainly not been his race after qualifying on the front row. Felix won there, picking up a penalty. So we're already on lap 4, and we have QVR Verstappen and B's having a battle here coming up to turn number 3. It's really turn number 2 because turn number 2 doesn't exist, it's just a bend, but it's official is turn number 3, and it's one of the ideal overtaking opportunities. Obviously round this lap is there's 3 main overtaking opportunities: turn 1, turn 3 and turn 4. As I'm sure you all know, it's a place that we defend as hard as we can. QVR Verstappen now got Ragnar up the inside, and it looks, well, there was a cracking move by Jeremy there. It looks like Ragnar was being overtaken, and well, managed to slip up the inside, take 2 places. So we are back at the front now. LFR Marnix has sort of reeled in Wouter at the front there, so we're looking at a battle now between REL and LFR for the win, but I'm also trying to keep an eye on everything that's going on behind. It's certainly one thing about these sprint races is they are all go, absolutely all go. So back to the front, congratulations go to Wouter, who just about takes a checkered flag from Marnix. Then we are looking at Architect coming across the line again, just ahead of DTR Brent. We then have QVR Sneaky, who I believe Sneaky have a qualifying ban, so he's done really well to work his way up from there. So great there. So Michael Pease, coming home in 7th, Michael in 8th. So those are your point scorers, 1st to 8th. Then in 9th we have Verstappen, 10th Felix 1, 11th Ragnar. In 12th, Lucas Supremo didn't quite go according to plan. Hopefully he'll have a better race in the feature race. Face Pantera 13th, 14th Black Mamba, 15th CPI Nathan, 16th XL Rocco, 17th Climb Bossy, 18th BNLRE Noodles, and the other BNLRE driver Jarno finishing 19th. So the only retirement he had was Gary in the XL team. So that brings to a close the sprint race. And QVR Sneaky, they're rightly picking up driver of the day for that as well, working his way all the way from the back of the grid after a qualifying ban. There they are celebrating on the podium. Just run through the results again once they pop up. So here we go. Wouter taking the win there for REL and taking 8 points with him as well. In second we have Marnix for LFR, third Architect for EVG, good race by him. Brent in 4th, bringing home points for DTR. Sneaky with a cracking drive over 5 laps from 20th up into 5th. We then have Jeremy, Pease, Michael TYB, QVR Verstappen and LLR Felix 1 rounding out the top 10. The rest of the drivers, if I can read them quickly enough, were Ragnar, Lucas Supremo, Pantera, Black Mamba, Nathan, Rocco, Climb Boss, Noodles, Jarno and Gary. But they'll all get another chance now over a 50% race distance. So we'll just wait now. We'll obviously go back to the lobby whilst the new settings are applied. So rather than sit here endlessly listening to me, I thought I would be kind enough to just put a quick highlights package from last week. So it's about 4 minutes, so it could be something to watch anyway. So I hope you enjoy it.
In this farewell, there's no blood, there's no alibi. 'Cause I've drawn regret from the truth of a 1,000 lies. So let mercy come and wash away what I've done. I'll face myself to cross out what I've become. Erase myself and let go of what I've rest what you thought of me while I clean this slate with the hands of uncertainty. So let mercy come and wash away what I've done. I'll face myself to cross out what I've become. Erase myself and let go of what I've done.
All I got that she was all that's on her. Yeah, credit views gave it on the sun. Yeah, anybody can make you all her own. You know.
Well, welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed just a recap of last week's race there. I think you all enjoyed the music as well, so a bit of rave in there. But yeah, it was a good race last week. Obviously, it was won by DRA Yari, now with the team that unfortunately pulled out. But we have, as I say, they're capable replacements who have been with us tonight. LFR, as I say, taking first and second on the grid for the sprint race. So I look forward to seeing how they get on in the race ahead. So whilst we're waiting for it to come up, we're going to pop up the quick driver stand or the team standings. As you can see, REL currently leading the way with 135 points, just a point ahead of NLR with 134 points. So a point between them there. Just behind XL on 111, so only 24 points off of the lead currently. QVR on 104. CPI 93, DTR further back on 57, BNLRE picking up 40 points so far. EVG with 32. DRA, as I say, no longer with us, but with 30 points. SRL currently yet to score, as are LFR, who are new to us today. But yeah, it's REL currently heading the championship. They've been quite consistent. This doesn't include the sprint race that we've just seen, so you obviously need to take that into account. So we're just waiting now 6 seconds and we'll be on to the formation lap. Here we go. So on to the formation lap. Let's just get this set up. I've got detail position gained. Right, okay, before I get comments on the stream as well, I don't normally put up the telemetry at the bottom just because it can be used as an aid for technicians, etc. So not something I normally put up. So I might flash it up occasionally, but normally it stays as you see now. So running through, we'll have a quick look at tyres, because obviously having a free choice of tyres after the sprint race, we have pretty much everybody going for the medium compounds. The only 3 exceptions are Architect in 3rd for EVG, who's decided to go for the softs. We then have the other EVG, so both EVG have gone for softs on the alternate there. Phase Pantera there also going for the softs for SRL, and Mamba for DTR going on to the softs. So Nathan and Climb Bossy obviously had a little bit of an incident there, so both Alpha Romeos will start on very cold tyres. But yeah, they have a split strategy, obviously, with Nathan on the mediums and Climb Bossy on the softs. So will be interesting to see how we go to start. But here we are. We're waiting for the last cars to come round now. Looks like Rocco might have disconnected, unfortunately. Certainly got a an X on his connection. So right, so here we are lined up on the grid. We are 1, 2, 3, 4 red lights, 5 red lights, and we are go for the DTR Austrian Grand Prix round number 8, and that's a good start by Walter again to take a clean lead. LFR being pressured a little bit by EVG at the back, but the rest of it seems to be quite clean. I haven't seen any contact coming through at the moment. So a nice, good, fresh, clean start for the beginning of the 50% race. So 36 laps. Walter taking the lead from pole position, but he is being pressurised hard by Marnix behind. And behind him we have Pease being overtaken by Brent, but he's not giving it up. He's taking it back. They are side by side here. Brent knowing that he couldn't quite make that corner there, but it's certainly not the end of this battle. It's going to go on and on. Brent now being pressurised by Sneaky. As they Sneaky starting at the back of the grid for the sprint race, did so well to work his way up, and now puts himself in a really strong position for the race. So here we are. I'm looking to see if we get anybody making any moves going into turn 1. I think the favourite placed is further down, but we've got some people into the pits. EVG, unfortunately, Ragnar has front wing damage. Nathan has front wing damage. Yeah, unfortunately, we have a few with front wing damage, but they are back out on track now. Okay, position changes early on. Oh, a big gain is Jarno, who's up 6 places from 19th to 13th. So a good start by him there. But still an awful long way to go in this race. We are nose to tail all the way down to number 12, position number 12, when we then have a small gap. But Wouter continuing to lead from Marnix. We will have DRS enabled shortly, so we could be looking at some moves. Obviously start finish line and the second DRS zone after turn 3. We're going to see a move from anybody here. Doesn't look like we are. I don't think anybody's close enough or in a position to do it. Okay, so jumping back to the front, and we do have a move for the lead. LFR Marnix taking the lead going into turn number 4 there, but I don't think Wouter is going to give this up easily. I'm trying to keep up. Looks like Rocco has managed to join again, so fingers crossed Rocco can get himself back in the car and work his way up. But here we are now on to lap number 4. Very short laps here, so they do go very, very quickly. But I think this is where Wouter is going to go for a move up the inside. He does indeed. And Architect also looking at getting interested there and putting his nose in, certainly saying, here I am. Not going to be that easy. And we are now 3 abreast. Back to 2. So QVR knows not to go for that. I think he's just being patient there, waiting to see if anything happens in front of him. But he has Brent just behind him as well. So let me get back to what's going on with the timing. Okay, so the timings have decided to go all over the place at the moment. So we will have to rely on it by looking. So obviously we have Marnix currently leading Wouter in 2nd place. But REL now in 2nd and 3rd, with Pease working his way up into 3rd place. Not so many moves going on, as someone in a bit of trouble at the back there. Looked like it was Michael just having a bit of a moment, dropping a couple of places. Back at the front with Wouter, Marnix, sorry, and Wouter just behind with Pease as well. Architect just behind him, and then sneaky Brent, Jeremy, and Verstappen. They are nose to tail. Then we've got a small gap going back to Michael. Sneaky looking very impatient now, wanting to get past, and it's starting to rain. I can see raindrops. This is going to make it very interesting. How heavy and how quickly is this going to come down? But I definitely see raindrops. Well, this is going to spice things up. We have a yellow. I think that was Gary having a bit of a moment in the back straight there, but it's starting to get wet very, very quickly. Is anyone going to take a gamble and come in, or are we not quite that wet yet? Ragnar, no. So we are not wet enough for inters. It's starting to sit there though, so I don't think it's going to be too long. Well, a safety car. Who is out? Marnix, no, Marnix. Oh, you were leading. Well, I'm really not. I missed that, Marnix. I'm sorry. I didn't miss that one with Nathan going off though. It seems it really is getting to wet or to intermediate tyres now. So I'm not 100% sure what happened there with Marnix. I think perhaps may have had a moment with Wouter, but it was. I can't say anything because I didn't see it, but it's obviously with the damp conditions as well does make it very difficult to control. But as I say, it's not something I can comment on without seeing it. But such a shame for LFR, who was doing so well. But yeah, I think it's everybody got to go for the Inters now. But I mean, Lucas stuck behind. Unfortunately, it seems he may have missed the opportunity. He's now going to drop him pretty much to the back of the grid, having to stop. But we've also got Nathan will catch up, I would have thought. Yeah, I think unfortunately for Lucas and Michael, it's going to be a lap too late. And I can see them rejoining round about 15th, 16th. So it's unfortunate it's so close together here that it's yeah, he will be coming into the pits now, but that's going to lose him so much time, so many positions. But so still a long way to go. We've got 29 laps left. What happened to Michael? I think Michael must have had a spin trying to go in on those mediums as well. It's all falling apart a little bit for Lucas and Michael on that lap. So I think they just missed it. So let's have a quick run through of who we've got. Wouter currently in the lead for REL. We have EVG Architect has managed to move himself up in a second, so I think the pit stop was perfect for him. QVR Sneaky in third place. Remember, QVR had that qualifying ban and started in 20th place for the sprint race, and he has worked his way up, currently sitting in third place. So a massive hats off for that so far. In fourth we have RELPs, so we have both REL drivers in the top four, and they will be looking at extending their lead in the championship if it continues like this. Brent with a great fifth place so far. Brent got good pace around Austria, so we will wish him well for this one. Jeremy as well in the McLaren for NLR. So NLR currently second in the championship. Currently in sixth place there. BNLR in Nodals in seventh, then Verstappen in eighth. Klein Bossy ninth, 10th is Felix 1. So we're just waiting for the safety car. I think it'll be in at the end of this lap because EVG, yeah, Ragnar has now. Well, he's straight on the back of Nathan, who will soon be on the back of XL Gary. So we will be good to go at the end of this lap. So everybody now on their intermediates. Got to learn their braking points again. Has it? I'm just looking at the rain, it's not getting too much worse, so I'm not sure we're going to progress to full wet, certainly not at the moment, but you never know what's around the corner with this game. Okay, so I don't know if the safety car's in this lap, but Wouter certainly seems to be backing the pack up already. Although I say we haven't seen an official notification. So the safety car must be in this lap. We just haven't had the notification yet. So Wouter will be the de facto pace car now, and he comes around turn number 9 onto turn number 10. When is he going to hit the power and go? He has gone already. So just behind you, EBG Architect also getting a good jump bit further back there. We have Jeremy was looking for a move on Brent. I think thought better of it on this turn, and the rest of them have got through very clean, which is good. So right, let's jump back to the front now, where we're going to have this battle between EVG and REL. QVR just behind, REL's second car of P's in 4th place as well. Brent just outside in 5th, so it would be interesting to see if we get any good overtakes. It would be good. A nice bit of weather always spices it up. But I have a feeling that the weather is going to dry up a bit, but it's just whether it gets bad enough for wets or whether it then gets dry enough again for the dry tyres. We will we'll have to see, won't we? So here we are again to the end of lap number 10 on to lap number 11. EVG in the wheel tracks of Wouter. Is any moves being made at the moment? Everybody, I think, just finding their feet in these conditions. Okay, so Architect, as I say, is hounding. Wouter has broken away ever so slightly from Sneaky, but not far enough with P's just behind him as well. It really is lovely to see some close, good racing. It's an advert for the game. The game has its bugs, but you guys, week in, week out, show us how it should be done. And it's a pleasure to watch, pleasure to have you as members of the DTR Esports League, and so fingers crossed we can extend this, expand it, but it's really nice to watch. So with the F122 coming out in a couple of months as well, it'll be interesting to see what we can do for next season. But back to this one, we have Wouter still leading from Architect as they open up a bit of a gap now to P's. Do we have anybody making a move at the moment? It seems that everybody is quite content saying that. Jarno decides to go for a move up the inside. Unfortunately, doesn't quite get around the outside. He gets clipped, and then unfortunately takes Rocco out with him as well. So not the end of the race though. Another safety car, they can be back in it, but we just never know what's going to happen here. But right, okay, do we have anybody going for any moves anywhere, please? We have Face is pitting now. I think he has probably got wing damage, so has to pit to put a new nose on. But EVG Architect right behind Wouter, but obviously without DRS now it makes it difficult to overtake, as with the DRS zones at Austria it really does allow you to pull up close, but now it's more a matter of trying to get a better exit than the car in front of you. So lap number 13. About a third of the way, so it's gone quite quickly. So let's jump back on board with the leaders to see. I think EVG, Architect has just dropped back a little bit now from Welter. He's given himself a bit of clear air, I think, but P's up to third place. I've missed that with him moving past Sneaky. That was quite sneaky. But Jeremy into 5th, Brent in 6th, with the second car QBR just behind him. So it's certainly nothing's decided as of yet. Seems to be all a little bit gentlemanly at the moment. I think it's with the conditions, obviously it's easier on the racing line, obviously, to go for a move off you. Fingers crossed, but we'll see something happen. But Wouter now seems to be stretching out a bit, just got about getting on for a second lead now. And P's reeling in Architect. So we have a lapped car, which is going to be Phase Pantera. Hopefully he won't call, mind you, we have ghosting on, so it's not so much of an issue. But there we go, moving out of the way. Very well done. Again, good to see. I thought that was an overtake then, but it was a lapping, so. All phase, yep, just getting out the way again there. So Brent, but just ahead of Brent. Looked like Jeremy just got a little bit loose. Ooh, is that Phase Pantera again trying to get out the way? I think it is, yeah. It's horrible. Nothing worse than being lapped. Yep, so Welter now pulling away with a 1.2 second lead. Supremo and Yano both picking up penalties there. Okay, so 16, or lap number 16, we're approaching the halfway distance. Obviously no need for anybody to change tyres again, depending obviously if it stays wet or not, but I think they're going to come in and put fresh tyres on. But I'm just waiting to see if it does dry up, because it certainly looks to have got a bit brighter. And to me, the rain certainly doesn't seem as heavy as it was a couple of minutes ago. So I think we're not going to be too long before we're heading back to dry tyres. So who is going to take the gamble first? I think that's going to be the question. You've got so much you can gain if you go onto the slicks ahead of the inters, but you've also got so much to lose if you do it just that one lap too early. But it has certainly stopped raining and it is drying up, so I don't think we're going to be too long before we get back onto slick tyres. So whether they are going to go for the softs for the remaining sort of 18-19 laps, or whether they'll go for the mediums, we'll see. Depends on the durability. Looking quickly at the tyre strategy, I think the medium's supposed to last about sort of 20 odd laps. I mean, the softs you could stretch them to 15, so we're at that point now where it could be worth taking a gamble onto the softs, but obviously only when it's dry enough. So is anybody going to take a Ragnar and Nathan racing side by side there. So Ragnar coming into the pit, is he going to be the first person? No, he's not. There's a couple already ahead of him. Looks like Jeremy has taken the gamble. So Jeremy for the NLR team has taken the gamble in the McLaren to put the softs on. So we'll keep an eye on him. What I'm going to do is put up the times to the leader and we can see what he is or isn't losing compared to them. Or whether he's gaining. Give them a good judge as to whether they need to pit for softs or dry tyres as well. So Jeremy 24.3 seconds behind at the moment. Walter just finished sector 2 into sector 3 now. He looks like he is going to come into the pits, pulling over to the right hand side. He is indeed. So Walter will come in. I expect for a set of softs. Architect will come in. Pease will come in. So unfortunately we're going to see a double stack by the REL team. That's going to hurt them a little bit. Yep, there we are with the double stack. So what is that going to cost him in the long run? Looks like Jeremy is going to make it past him. So he does. Jeremy does make up those positions by coming in and putting the softs on a little bit early. But Gary continuing on the inters. I think that's a lap too long, my friend. I think you're going to suffer. Obviously not wanting to double stack, but can understand that. Then we've got Verstappen and Brent now side by side. We've got Supremo and Felixstone. Jeremy and Pease fighting at the front. Oh goodness me, we've changed onto soft tyres and everyone's overtaking everybody. Okay, so Walter now back in the lead with Gary coming in to the pits. So Architect will resume his second place and obviously the hunt of Walter, but the gap now 1.9 seconds. It's going down 1.8, so again we'll keep an eye on that to see how he gets on for this remaining 17 laps of the race. We have Ragnar and XL. Having a small battle down here. Nathan seems to have spun, whether that was an incident with somebody else or on his own. BNLRE is also struggling. I think he might not have a front wing. I do wonder if those two had made some kind of contact. But jumping a bit further back, Verstappen has dropped 3 seconds now behind Jeremy. Obviously the pit stop helped a lot with that. Sneaky picking up a 3-second time penalty. That is going to hurt with such a close race when we get to the end. But Jeremy did seem to pit pretty much at the ideal time there from the inters onto the softs. He's back up into third place now and will be on the hunt for Architect ahead of him, which will only leave his teammate. So 1-2 would be really good for REL. They only have one win so far this season, Team REL, but they do have 4 podiums, so they're pretty consistent. Always going to be there or thereabouts. Jarno is out. What happened to Jarno? Can't see Jarno at all, so it's cleared. But so yeah, not a good night for Jarno, so retiring with 14 laps to go. Lucas Supremo there putting the fastest lap of the race. We know he's got pace. He's been unlucky during the race. LFR, as I say, for the debut, they showed massive amount of pace, and as they taking pole and second place, so a front row shut out on their debuts, nothing to be sneezed at. But unfortunately, a little bit unlucky during the race, whether it was down to contact or something else. It's unfortunate, but I look forward to seeing you back next week, Marnix, and you know, I'm sure you'll have a strong race there as well. So Wouter hangs pretty much. Well, he's pulled the trigger, hasn't he? He's getting on for 3 seconds clear now. We have Pease, who is just behind. Architect with Sneaky just behind him. Jeremy also just behind him. And then have a bit of a gap of 3.5 seconds to Verstappen, who has Brent directly behind him. So we'll see how these tyres work out, because obviously the softs would be blisteringly quick out of the box for a fresh set, but how long are they going to last? So if they could be stretched to the end without losing too much time to the mediums. Trying to keep my eyes everywhere, because we've got so many close battles. We only need someone to get a good drive from DRS, ERS in their paths. But this seems to be the best overtaking position if you can get yourself close enough. Is up to turn number 3 or on to turn number 4 at the end of this DRS straight. I don't think Pease can get himself close enough. Nope. And Jeremy, so it is nose to toe at the moment. Brent, they're desperate to get past Verstappen. Verstappen, stout defending, not prepared to give up the position easily. Brent just dropping back ever so slightly there. Back to the front we now, well, it seems to be a battle for second place, because Wouter for the REL team has disappeared, nearly 3.5 seconds up the road now. But I can see some good battling going on between these 4 here. Jeremy now closing up onto the back, so he is part of this group. Verstappen and Brent just dropping off slightly. Brent now has Noodles and Felix 1 and Climb Bossy for company. So we've got another train going on there. So a couple of trains, and hopefully we'll see some good overtaking in the last, what, with 11-12 laps to go. So 2/3 of the way through. But Sneaky got a good exit there, so it was a bit closer to Pease, but again just not close enough that it's going to make too much of a difference. But I think the pull up the hill here, we could see a move. Is Sneaky going to go for a late break? Nope, he comes out wide. Is he going to look to get the switch back on him? He certainly had better pace going through there, but a little nudge on the back of Pease. Luckily no damage by either of them. I think Sneaky there just letting him know that he's there. So Jarno has left the session, understandable. I'll say not your night tonight, Jarno, but it'll be Be good to see you back fighting again. But Welter, yeah, seems to have disappeared now. Just over the 3.6 seconds clear on the medium tyres, so he's not going to struggle with any degradation towards the end of the race. Architect May, I don't know whether these softs are going to go off, obviously with Sneaky, Jeremy and Verstappen just behind as well. Oh, bit of a slide there by Architect, and I think that is going to give Pease all of the invitation that he needs to make the move up the inside. He does indeed. Is this now going to put Architect under pressure? It does. So Architect nearly losing 2 positions there. Sneaky going for the move, but Architect keeping a solid defence there. And Sneaky just needing to drop back, but he'll be happy with 4th place at the moment, looking for a move again when they get to the DRS straights. But REL have taken 1st and 2nd place. And Pease, oh, a bit of a mistake there again by Architect. And that's all that Sneaky needed to get past. All Pease picking up a 3-second time penalty there. Sneaky also got his 3-second time penalty. So EVG not in a bad position still. Just needs to make sure he can keep the gap between him and Sneaky down to 3 seconds. And would still be looking at a well-deserved podium. But he is actually closing in on Sneaky here, so obviously DRS assisted. We'll close here and look for a move at the end of this, but doesn't get as good a drive out of that corner as Sneaky. So both on the softs, 8-lap olds. But I do think the mediums. Oh, Sneaky! Had a big moment there. Did very, very well to keep it out of the barrier. Very, very well indeed. So certainly going to be a bit of a start there, I have to admit, Sneaky. So, but well done for controlling that. And Jeremy having a slight moment there, and Sneaky, I think he's going to be back on the attack soon. Turn 1, and we will look at getting a good drive going up the hill. I don't think it's going to be enough, certainly, to make a move going into turn 3. Further back we have Felix 1. Looks like he is going to make a move on the outside of Noodles, but Noodles not having any of it. Felix 1 is still there though. Strong defending there, late on the brakes, Noodles, but I mean he's his hands are a bit tight because he's got Brent in front of him as well. And Brent has Verstappen just in front of him, so it's Sneaky missed that, sorry, losing a position to Jeremy. I assume that was under the DRX. Oh no, it wasn't, was it? This was he had the moment, that's right, so he is closing up onto the back of Jeremy again. So I think Sneaky probably has he's probably a little bit quicker than the 2 ahead. So Noodles and Felix 1 still battling away. Oh, we have a bit of a concertina there, unfortunately one in the braking zone. So easy to do, so easy to lose a front wing. I'm hoping nobody did. Can't see anybody had any damage, but yeah, it's the thing. I mean, it's the same as the hairpin at Monaco. It seems to be a concertina. When the first car brakes, everybody just nudges into the back. So Lucas now on the back of Klein Bossy, so looking to put himself into the pits. He does. I think Klein Bossy has come into the pits. He has. So Lucas works his way up into the points. So currently a point scoring position for LFR on their debut. Obviously, they would have been hoping for an awful lot more, especially after the position they were in. But as I said, there's always next week, lads. It's a pleasure to have you here, as it is to have all of our teams here. Okay, so Pease has disappeared into the distance as well, so even with that 3-second time penalty is not really affecting him for second place at the moment. Jeremy looking to hold on to that second place, but has Architect and Sneaky right behind him. Sneaky, obviously, with that 3-second time penalty, is going to hurt his podium chances. Some nice battling going on here. Looks like QVR Verstappen is lining up a move on Brent, and just behind him we've got Felix 1 and Noodles. So we've got some nice racing going on. So Verstappen taking the corner there from Brent and the position as well. So 6th place for him. Felix and Noodles are still battling away. They've been having a good old battle for the last few races, and just behind, closing in, is Lucas. He's not done yet. He could do with a few more points here today, I think. Literally as a change off, Noodles makes the move up the inside of Felix 1 into turn number 7. So it's a brave place to make a move. But Felix, oh goodness. Felix is coming in to change his tyres, so it does look like... Did he have damage? Does he have damage? He does have damage, front wing damage. So it's a bit late to be changing tyres, but obviously if you have damage. So Brent now looking for a move back on QBR Verstappen. He wants that 5th place back. Oh, so up front, this is just getting so close. So we have two nice battles going on. Sneaky looks like, was he going to make a move on Architect? He's not. He's just going to hold back. He's going to try and get himself a good run coming out of turn number 10 along the start finish line with the DRS. Is he going to be able to make a move going up into turn number 1? Here we go. As DRS open, pulls back a little bit. I think he's more than happy to make the move up here. Gets a good drive out there for EBG, gets EBG, so I think Sneaky is going to go for a move, or maybe not. Right, gets it early onto it. He's going to make the move here. He's got an excellent drive coming out. Will he be able to get past Architect? Architect unfortunately has DRS as well from Jeremy, so it's it makes it more difficult to get past, but we have this. We're not quite sure where to look at the moment, but yeah, Sneaky, Architect and Jeremy fighting for the last podium, although really Jeremy and Architect are odds on for it, with Sneaky having that 3-second penalty. And look at the front, Pease has reduced the gap down. Oh, bit of a moment there from Sneaky. Has reduced the gap down to his teammate Welter to just over 2 seconds now. So, I thought there was contact there. So penultimate lap, we have a move up the inside. Sneaky going for the move. He does take that position from Architect. A bit further back we have Lucas has worked his way. Do we have a spinner? Is Gary struggling? And QVR Sneaky has now lost the position. It's changing lap after lap. I'm trying to keep up with it. Come on. Right, okay. Lucas is right on the back of Brent now. Brent dropping down into 7th place. Is he going to be able to keep Lucas behind him for this last lap? But we are going back to this battle for 4th place, which seems to have spread itself out a little bit, as it has. Yeah, we shall see. But anyway, I'm going to just quickly keep an eye on that. But I want to... Oh, no. To come back. Here comes EVG Architect looking for the move. Doesn't make it, but he's got Sneaky right up his backside. This is literally nose to tail. Lucas looking for a move. No. Back to the battle for 3rd, 4th and 5th. I'm loath to pull away from this, but I want to also give some credit to the REL guys, because they've not had much TV time today, but they have been fantastic. REL Welter crosses the line now to take the checkered flag, and a 1-2 for REL with Peas in 2nd place. In 3rd for NLR is going to be Jeremy. A great battle there. EVG Architect taking 4th. Will Sneaky keep 5th? He does indeed, with his teammate Verstappen coming across in 6th. In 7th we have DTR Brent. Lucas Supremo recovering to 8th place, so a good recovery try for him. In 9th, EVG Ragnar. 10th, BNLRE Noodles. 11th, XL Gary. NLR Felix 1 in 12th. Michael TYB in 13th. Then we have Climb Bossy, XL Rocco. DTR Black Mamba and FaZe Pantera were our finishers today. CPI Nathan, BNLRE Yarno and LFR Marnix were the unfortunate non-finishers today. But that was a good race. So it was good at the beginning, then obviously with the rain coming in as well, it opened it up completely, but back to dry again at the end. Made it very enjoyable. As I say, a good victory for the REL boys. Will extend their lead at the top of the championship, but NLR will also pick up points for their 3rd place finish. Not quite sure who got fastest lap, but we'll have a look at that in a moment. Right, so here we are back at the results. As I say, the REL boys of Welter and Peas taking 1st and 2nd place. Jeremy taking 3rd for the NLR team. We have Architect in 4th for EVG. Then the QVR boys of Sneaky and Verstappen in 5th and 6th. In 7th, DTR Brent. 8th, LFR Lucas Supremo recovering and scoring good points there. EVG in 9th place with Ragnar and BNLRE Noodles rounding out the top 10. As they within Gary for the XL team, Felix 1 for NLR, Michael TYB for SRL, Climb Bows for CPI, Rocco for XL, Mamba for DTR, Pantera, Nathan, Yarno and Marnix were the unfortunate non-finishers. So that brings to a close tonight's race. I mean, personally, I think it's been a really good race. I hope you enjoyed it as well. We'll obviously be back next week for round number 9, which is at Spa-Francorchamps. So that will be interesting to see how these top-notch drivers get on round there. Is certainly an advert for the rest of us, which I've popped up now. We have DTR racing will be starting again next Tuesday, and we are following on from the Esport boys, and we'll be racing the sprint race at Austria. So on Tuesdays we've got divisions 1 and 5, Wednesdays divisions 2 and 4, and Thursdays Division 3, all at 8 o'clock UK time. And obviously next Friday we will return for the Esports League at Spa-Francorchamps. So all I can really say is thank you ever so much for joining tonight. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's certainly been a good race, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next week. So thanks ever so much for watching. Have a good evening, everyone. Good night.